Today, you will be presented with a scenario that explores the complexities of crime, punishment, and ethical decision-making in the judicial system. As you listen to the scenario, pay close attention to the details and consider the various factors at play. After the scenario, you will be asked to reflect on a series of questions. These questions are designed to help you think critically about the issues presented and formulate your own perspective on the best course of action. Please listen carefully and be prepared to engage with the questions at the end of the scenario for your assignment. You enter the courthouse for work, feeling the weight of your 10 years as a judge. Despite your experience, you strive to remain compassionate towards those facing criminal convictions. As you prepare for a day of cases, you notice a particularly large crowd in the courtroom. After lunch, you hear the case of Morgan Ellis, who was accused of committing armed robbery at a local convenience store. Ellis, 35 years old, has 2 previous felony convictions and was under probation supervision for the second felony at the time of the robbery. Ellis suffers from severe post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, due to a violent past and struggles to manage symptoms without proper medication and therapy. You face a difficult decision. Under the state's 3 strikes law, you could give Ellis a life sentence for this new charge. Alternatively, you could process this case as a probation violation, resulting in Ellis serving out the remainder of the original sentence. A third option is to keep Ellis on active probation supervision, but mandate an intensive rehabilitation program aimed at individuals with PTSD who need counseling and supervision. This was not mandated by the original probation board decision to release Ellis, but you believe it could be beneficial. According to the retribution argument of an eye for an eye, you should give Ellis a lengthy term to account for the trauma the store clerk experienced. However, you know that individuals with PTSD, especially those who have not received adequate treatment, do not benefit from the harsh environment of prison and are more likely to be targets of abuse from other prisoners. You also worry that a prison sentence may not reform an individual with PTSD, but would instead exacerbate their problems. This case presents a complex interplay of legal, ethical, and personal factors. As a judge, you must weigh the needs of public safety, the victim, and the defendant's potential for rehabilitation. To explore these considerations further, reflect on the following questions. How does the severity of Morgan Ellis's PTSD and lack of treatment influence your decision on the appropriate punishment? And what ethical considerations come into play when weighing rehabilitation against retribution? Considering Ellis's history of felony convictions and the potential impact on public safety, what factors should you prioritize when deciding between a life sentence, probation violation, or an intensive rehabilitation program? How might the principles of restorative justice apply to this case? And what measures could be taken to address the needs of both the victim and Morgan Ellis in a way that promotes healing and rehabilitation? Take a moment to reflect before typing your responses.